Good morning. Happy Sunday. It's 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Dustin. Thank you so very much for clicking on this live and hanging out with me today. It truly does mean the world to me. Looks like John is already here. Mr. Gugahan himself. Good morning. How are you this fine morning, my good sir? I am doing fantastic. Fan flippin' tastic. I've got some feedback from the other channel. Okay. All right. Oh, Danny Beach. I was thinking about you today, but I was thinking it's probably raining and hopefully you're not outside today. Danny says, "Good morning. Drinking coffee. Don't mind if I do." Mm, frying bacon. I'm not sure what I'm going to eat today. I haven't eaten. I didn't eat yesterday. Well, I take that back. I had my cup of coffee and then I had some like 10 pieces of pepperoni and 10 little tiny pieces of cheese on one of those like cheese trays. I went to my buddy's house last night. It's his birthday. Um, you know, I was there till about 11 o'clock. Charlie, good morning, my good sir. Cindy is up and Adam from Austin, Texas. Woo! Woo! Austin, Texas. I know you had a journey to get there, I believe. You canceled flights and everything. I am looking forward to hearing about your journey from Ohio to Texas, or even just to Dallas, from Dallas to Austin. Did you end up renting a car? Oh man, it was crazy. A buddy of mine was trying to go from Dallas to DC the same day, and he was having difficulties. He had a canceled flight and delays, and yeah. Christian Delorme. Bonjour, everybody. Not raining here, 80 degrees, high and sunny. I don't I think it might be raining. I don't know. I didn't look outside all the way today. It was rainy yesterday, miserable. Well, not miserable. It was cool. It was in the 60s. It was a nice evening. Carl. Coral. Welcome. Good morning, Carl. And your lovely wife, Evelyn. Jeff Foltz is in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. John says, "Good morning, Cindy. How was the meetup at Harry and Wendy? I've seen so many amazing photos from Hack Your Health. Seen some cool stuff from the cruise. Um, both look like they were excellent times. It was just one of those things. I wish I could have been there. So barely made it this AM. Our oldest kiddo had a medical emergency last night. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope they are doing better. I know you didn't cancel the flight. I know that. They canceled the flight. Why? You don't have the power to cancel the whole flight. Cindy calls up, "Hey, this is Cindy. Cancel the whole flight." No, I know that. She says it's been great. Today is the last day. Good luck. Danny says it was nice here yesterday. It's raining now. Got yard work done yesterday. Some work on my walkway. That's a labor of love, my friend. Labor of love. I do not envy you at all. I hate yard work. But I mean, that just really comes to the fact that I grew up in apartments. So it was yard work was never a thing for us. So I lived on the second floor most of the time. And then even when I moved out into my own place, I lived on the second floor in an apartment. And then, yeah, I didn't care. And now I'm like, I could care less about it. I mean, as long as our yard isn't like high and we're not getting letters from the HOA, I don't care. I'm that neighbor. I just don't care. It's just the way it is. But yeah, you know, June is full of birthdays. So Chandra's birthday is the 6th. Our daughter's birthday is the 12th, and mine is the 25th. And I know that there's a couple of birthdays. I think today may be my cousin's birthday, June the 2nd. Did I say the 2nd? Yes. He's one of those people who doesn't have like Facebook and stuff, so it's hard to kind of keep track of what's going on and what their days are and all that stuff. So he's not a social media person, which is strange to be honest with you. He was always a very social butterfly, social, happy, hanging out with people all the time. It seems like that would translate to social media, but it just doesn't. So I don't know. Let's see. John says, I had an omelet with cottage cheese and it came so creamy and delicious. Never did that, but it will now something I add to my repertoire. Oh, yeah. I've been trying to think about, and riddle me this, okay? Riddle me this. I've been thinking about the whole cottage cheese flatbread thing that everyone's doing right now. And I'm trying to think of, I was thinking about maybe adding a package of gelatin to it and maybe a packet of keto chow to it to see like, like maybe a full container. Cause I think I've got some cottage cheese in the fridge that probably will be going bad because our granddaughter was going through a phase where she would eat cottage cheese every day. And now she's just like not into it. So I've got some that I need to use and I may make some today to see how it turns out. I was trying to wonder like what a flavor keto chow might work. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you guys can think of that and have a little bit better of a thing today. So Cindy says her other child, not me, her other child is also on the 25th. So she had two kids same day. Didn't even know me until years ago. How rude. We are having trouble finding clean cottage cheese. I would say Daisy is about as clean as you're going to find in most grocery stores. If you can find the good brand, that's a little bit cleaner, but realistically, I think um yeah, I think Daisy is probably about the cleanest that you're going to be able to find just about everywhere. I only have one chicken packet and I was going to use that for some chicken noodle soup. I was going to make some chicken noodle soup. I think John has it. I was thinking about I have 3 packets of mushroom, and I think if I mix it in with, like, the flatbread, it probably won't have probably just give it that nice umami flavor. Maybe I'll add some garlic into it and then maybe, sprinkle some cheese on top. I don't know. We'll see. There'll probably be a video. We'll see how it comes out. Even if I fail, even if it isn't good, there will be a video. I owe you guys so many videos. I have so many videos to edit. I have filmed stuff, and I've done all these things. Yeah. Pam Smith says, Hi, being from Seattle and never did much yard work either. There is a lot of rocks, hills, undergrowth, and rain, so yard work isn't a big deal there. Like the sound of that. And a lot of my favorite bands are from Seattle. Not a lot of them. It's like been mixed between Seattle and Sweden. Good culture. Yeah, good culture cottage cheese. I was thinking good. There's good culture, good, real good foods. Everything is good, and I can't think of all of them all the time. But yeah, real good culture is good. But we had a run where we got them and they were already expired, even though they weren't past the expiration date. So tread lightly on that. Yeah, good culture is clean. Daisy is the relatively the cleanest you're going to find everywhere because you're not going to find good culture everywhere. Yeah, maybe spicy taco. I think I have 1 packet of that too. I do have 3 packets of the I have 3 packets of the mushroom, and I've got like 6 or 8 packets of the potato. Potato might actually be interesting as well. Like a potato flatbread. Delicious. The only problem is is if I make a video and people are like, "Ooh, how can I get that keto chow?" And keto chow's like, "We don't have any." And then people are like, and I'm like, "See, you know what? Keto chow, get on it. Make more packets." You know they're coming. You know that they're making more loaded potato packets of keto chow. It's just going to take them months and months and months to get it. I have 1 year. Let's see. I have 1 year old. I have a 1 year old great niece here sharing my pork rinds, cheese crisps. Shared my keto chow ice cream with her last night. I made a. I had a apple pie keto chow creamy the other night. It was pretty okay. I put in some. I put in some Chalk Zero caramel syrup, and that was pretty good. Yes, Good Culture is clean. Hendrix, Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Melvins, Nirvana. All these people are from there. Then, like, you get into the Swedish things, and then it's like In Flames, Meshuggah, you know, Hammerfall, all these great bands. I mean, then you get Indiana, where I live, and you had Shannon Hoon, who was Blind Melon. Mm. He and Axl Rose were friends, and Shannon Hoon actually moved out to LA because of Axl Rose, and he was like Axl Rose's assistant for a little while, and then he joined the band, got in the band Blind Melon, and No Rain. Mm. So how is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Yes. Oh, I've been so slacky as of late. Just slacking on the content stuff. Yeah, the Bumblebee song, the No Rain song. Yeah, that's like one of my like I love that song. Like I can't hear it and not just sing along, and it's a great song. What's weird is because the rest of their stuff is so unlike that. It's like a little more like some hippie stuff, some like crazy. They had another video. I can't think of the name of the song of it, but they had another video where like he's like hitting his head on the windshield of a car, and like they said he actually was doing it. So he was a little crazy. Big Bob is in the house. Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad to see you are doing great. How's the wife? How's everybody? Oh, yeah. So we go live Tuesday. Chandra's birthday is, let me look. I got to look at my calendar. Chandra's birthday is Thursday. She has a staff meeting, but that's in the afternoon. Do any of you guys have like joint calendars for you and your spouse to keep track of everything that you guys have going on? I don't understand how people can have or not have a joint calendar. Like everything we do, like I don't know if you can see that, but like everything is on the calendar and everything's there. Like so much stuff. I put in like shows I'm going to. She puts in who she's hanging out with. I put where I'm going. You know, Sherry is here. Good morning. Yes, hit that like button. I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, and I'm still like less than 300 shy. I don't know. Subscriber counts on my end have come to a grinding halt almost. So, yeah. So I'm trying. There's going to be a giveaway at 5,000. Once I hit 5,000, I've got a big giveaway. I've got some stuff going on. I've got some salty stuff to give away, some Coco Zen to give away. I'm going to make a full video, and I think we're looking at maybe getting some other things together to give away. It'll probably be just a one winner giveaway at 5,000. 3,000 we did 3 people, but yeah. So So it'll be a one person giveaway. Be on the lookout for that video later this week. Probably we'll make a video because we're at 4,700 and some odd subscribers, trying to hit 5,000 subscribers because that's a big deal. That will open up some sponsorship things for us, perhaps. My goal by the end of the year is to double that and go 10,000 by the end of the year. So I want, maybe if you guys could help me get there, that would be amazing. I am doing a birthday stream for my birthday on June 25th. That will replace it'll basically be in place of our Tuesday stream, but it'll be my birthday. So tune into that, hang out, celebrate my birthday with me. It'll be a lot of fun. Um, Brian Doyle is in the house. If I can find my mouse, there it is. Brian Doyle in the house. Go and check him out. That song would be considered first hour music in the DJ world. I'm not sure what that means. Charlie says, just got back from super hot Phoenix. You have to replace your Maytag microwave today. Maytag guy lied to us, huh? We've got a Samsung microwave and the door is kind of bent. I don't know. I don't know how does a microwave door get bent? And it wasn't bent when it was installed, it opened fine. Then all of a sudden one day it was just like bent and it just doesn't open all the way. It still works. It probably lets some of the microwaves out and it's going to scramble the brains. But, probably not how that works at all. But yeah. I was surprised you're awake, Cindy. Especially because it's like 6:30 your time. 6:46 your time. Crazy, crazy people. What's been your favorite thing that's happened during this Hack Your Health conference, Cindy? What's your favorite? What's the best experience thus far? Did you get to meet somebody you haven't had a chance to meet before? I like Steak and Butter Gal is there. All kinds of people that would be cool to meet. I don't necessarily follow her content, but I see it, and I know that she gets picked up on memes a lot, and she kind of gets the whole like kind of thing. You met Dr. Chafee? Oh yeah. Charlie says he found the In-N-Out burger in Tempe. It had a 4x4, which was delicious. They're just good, right? Dr. Chafee, Dr. Ovadia. I don't know. I can't keep track of everybody. I know people like by sight, I know what people look like sometimes or whatever, but I don't always know their name kind of thing. Everybody's saying hello to each other, all the hearts, the love, the hugs. I love it. So excited. So, with all these birthdays coming up, my birthday included, I'm doing a fast after my birthday. I'm also thinking about the 29th there's a meetup on the 29th in Ohio. Thinking about going to that. I think Jen Lucas and Jackie were thinking about going with me. Charlie, if you want to ride, maybe we can swing by and snatch you up for that. That would be a thing we could do. It's always good to pack the car. That way, we're doing a whole little bit of saving on the gas money. So we can just hang out and I'll drive and all that fun stuff. But I'm not sure if it's off of 70 or if it's off of 74. Either way, we'll figure it out and we'll make it work. Cindy says they may go. They may go. And then Hungry says, hey, yo. Oh, you met Christy. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah. And Robin Carnivorous Grandma and many, many more. Ear hustling while making breakfast. Yeah. You guys did see that I wasn't doing a live yesterday, right? I did post that in your live, and then I had some stuff to do. Chandra came downstairs and we were talking and hanging out, so I didn't hear a lot was going on. I'm planning on it. It's right after my birthday. I'll be fasting, which will be, I don't know if it's at a restaurant or something like that, but yeah, I'm going to be doing a 7-day fast. So, not exactly sure what day I'm starting it. I'm starting on the 26th or the 27th. It just depends. I have to plan it out. If I'm eating and having coffee on my birthday, then I'll probably not start it the next day because I like to start rolling back my coffee intake and stuff before I start a fast. I do have plenty of salty of the clean slate salty to get through the fast. I have enough to probably have like 3 or 4 a day if I need to. So that's fantastic. That'll make it so much easier for me. Bella Steak and Butter Gal was there. She wants to meet her someday. I think I want to meet everybody. Everybody who is in this community that that makes content or involves themselves in the community and makes things sustainable for others. I want to meet. I'd love to meet Goody Beats in person. There's so many people that I would love to meet in person. I'd kind of like to meet Dr. Baker. I have some actual questions for him. I'm always on the fence with Dr. Baker because I think he plays too much into the drama of everything, which I know he does to drum up engagement, whether negative or positive engagement. He's down for both. And I mean, that's kind of annoying when I understand that social media is kind of it's not a zero sum game. You have to play a little bit with the negative and the positive. I try not to touch on the negative unless it's actual personal something that impacts me directly. And I hopefully that something positive can come out of me talking about something negative. But yeah, so she's there, but I haven't met her yet. Just go up and be like, "My name is Cindy, and I shut down airlines." Would you like to meet Carrie Mann? I don't know who Carrie Mann is. Let me look this up. I can't think of who Carrie Mann is. Let me see. Certified holistic health coach. Is this who I'm looking at? Maybe. Oh, let's see. I think I might be spelling that wrong. Oh, I am going I don't know if for those of you who are familiar with Dave Mack, I am going to be sitting down and talking with him on the 13th of this month. I don't know when he'll post it, but because he does recordings, he doesn't do lives. So be on the lookout for me to be sitting down with Dave Mack on his channel. That's kind of exciting for me. Um, I've been kind of wanting to be on his channel for a while. So yeah. Homestead How. Okay. He's the one spearheading. Okay, 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 okay. So there's a different Carrie Mann that's in the certified holistic. There's like, the whole thing, I guess. There's another health space person. So yeah, so Homestead How. I meet all kinds of people. Sherry's asking, do you have any tips for photo management? Concern my device storage may interfere with grabbing ussies. I since I'm a person that utilizes Android, so there's Google and Google backs up all my phone storage and my phone has over a half terabyte of storage. So I'm not really concerned about being able to store photos and I can always go in and make sure that I dump all my content over to the cloud. Um and then every once in a while I will go back and back up my phone to my computer. I have redundant drives that I keep keep a storage for all my content. So that's how I do it. Um, you can get um, you can get drives Like we got an 8 terabyte drive on clearance from Costco for like $60 one time. Might have been, it was like 50 or $60, an 8 terabyte drive that you plug into your computer. And then you can plug your phone into your computer, pull all those photos off, dump them on there, and that'll hold everything you've ever put on your phone. 8 terabytes. I've got two 6 terabyte redundant drives. So, and then I've got a terabyte of cloud storage and a terabyte on my laptop, and then the 8 terabyte drive I haven't even opened. So, yeah, I would say just get yourself some kind of storage, and then I would say get two. That sounds weird. So, if you were going to get one eight, get two fours, and then or whatever you can afford. So, I mean, when I started doing the content creation, I went ahead and got two 6 terabytes. They were $100 a piece. And so they're plugged in, connected to the laptop. I've got everything connected so I can just drag and drop content, these lives. When I go and I take the lives off of StreamYard, I drop them and copy them to both drives and then delete them off my laptop so I can, do that stuff. Carrie Man is Homestead How. Okay. So that's why I didn't find it. So I wouldn't mind meeting him. Like I try going to his live sometimes, but there's like 500-600 people in there, so the interaction isn't that great. That kind of bums me out. Yeah, Darth Carnivore. Charlie knows Dave Mack. Um, so Carl's saying that the meetup in Ohio, June 29th, is off I-70, then south on 35. Another little jog, and you get a gated community Lake Caring Lake Lakergren meetup at the Valhalla Lodge. We're going to Valhalla. Valhalla. Yeah, so I will make sure and I will confirm with Chandra. Um, she works that day, so I don't see that being much of a problem. And if everybody's going, if like me and even if it's just me and Charlie or me, Charlie and Jen, Lucas, and maybe and the four of us go, I mean, realistically, it's not a big problem. You know, I mean, that'll basically mean basically free. But then I won't even be eating there or whatever. I'll have water, maybe some iced tea, something like that, whatever they've got going on. So I'll be fasting. But I love people, and it'll be nice to see everybody again. Yeah. So thanks for that info, Carl. So yeah, if you want to, just text me, Charlie, and I'll see if about getting the other ladies involved if they want to go, because Charlie is like right off I-70 for us too. So yeah, I just happened to see that Dave Mack had posted something on YouTube on a community post saying he was looking for people, and I was like, you know what? Because he was like carnivore people, and I'm like, I'm mostly carnivore, and I know how some people only want to talk. I was like, what about meat? He's like, yeah, send me an email. So yeah, um, there will be a lot of activities that day. Okay, activities. So much room for activities. He's interviewing me, so I'm going to be on his channel. Um, I imagine it's an interview. So yeah, I'll be there. We'll be recording on the 13th. I don't know when that will come out. I don't know how quickly he gets those discussions out, the interviews out. I mean, it'll be a good talk. I imagine he's very knowledgeable, and I'm sure he's great at doing what he does. He's like 60,000 subscribers, done 500 interviews. So I have no doubt that it'll be a fantastic talk, as long as I can keep up my end of the bargain, as long as I don't come off like a dum dum. That's my big worry, is I'm going to come off like a dum dum. So I think it's interesting that he lives in Japan. It's always interesting for me, the people who live in other countries. Mm. His famous interview tagline is, "How did you find carnivore?" I didn't really. I just kind of slid into it. It's just one of those things. Like I feel my best when I'm eating like just beef and eggs and maybe a little bit of bacon here and there. I feel my best, but it's not real life sustainable for me. I can't eat that. I mean, I can't say that I can't, but in order for me to find consistency and sustainability long term, I can't. I have to break it up a little bit here and there. And that's one of the things that I'm very open and honest about. I think having food addictions and keeping me on track and keeping me from going off the rails, I have to, like have little bits and pieces of things here and there across time. Where if I was to go strictly carnivore for a long period of time and have in my mind that I'm never going to do something again, then I'm going to go off the rails. So that's just one of those things. Like I know I feel better long term when I'm doing that. I just, I don't know how. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Hello from Disney World, bringing the magic today. I'm so thankful for you, Matt. You and Sarah. You bring so much joy to my life. Really, really. Do you know what also? Do you know what also brings joy to my life? I was at my buddy's house last night. His house is all hooked up with Alexa. Like, and I was just like setting random reminders, like alarms for him throughout the day to tell him mean things. We've known each other over 20 years, so he gets it. Yeah, I mean, so carnivore wasn't a thing when I started keto because the whole idea of eating that much meat was, you're going to throw yourself out of ketosis, you're going to throw your blood sugar out of whack, all these things. When I first started, the majority, the group think that carnivore was not good. Like it was moderate protein, high fat, moderate protein, low carb. And now I still even see some doctors regurgitating this. And sometimes they're talking about more the kidney side of things. Like if you're already in kidney issues or whatever, then having high protein can cause an issue. I don't even know if that's correct. And I know they're a doctor, but I've heard nephrologists say otherwise. So like there's just so much conflicting information out there that perpetuates a lot of that stuff too. So like I always wonder. So, I don't eat a grotesque amount of protein. I probably eat less than 200 grams of protein a day, but well over 100 most days. Some days I don't eat very much at all, but just depends on my hunger and satiety, like if I'm having like a bunch of meat or whatever. But yeah. So Danny says he could do carnivore and keto chow treats every once in a while. That's the thing, like, I mean, I like things like flavored electrolytes. I mean, I prefer like the clean slate from Salties. That's my favorite. Um, it's so much more versatile than having the flavors. It's cleaner than having the flavors. And that's just me personally. I know that I'm a weirdo when it comes to that. I know Charlie. I know Charlie gets me because he likes the unflavored electrolytes as well. Not maybe not salty, but I know he likes the Redmond Relight. Um, yeah. Doctors are going to tell you all kinds of stuff because they're afraid. A lot of doctors don't even realize that ketosis and ketoacidosis aren't the same thing. Anybody else doing the squat challenge from Atreya? Not sure if she's initiated it. I have not done anything like that. I probably should be doing some things like that and getting my body moving, body move in, body move in, but I haven't. Sarah's doing it. Yeah, that's awesome. There's a lot more I should be doing. Like, so I'm upset because like we had like last weekend they opened our pool and it's been in the 60s, mid 70s, not warm enough to go to the pool every day. It was like in the 80s, almost 90s, leading up to the pool opening, and the pool opens and it's like, "Ha gotcha, sucker." So, you know. But yeah, I just think for me, finding consistency and sustainability is so much more important than being or focusing on being strictly carnivore or anything like that. Um, Hold on a second here. He says he did 50 squats yesterday. Need to do my 55 a little later today. Woo! Yeah, but you live in Florida, home of Florida man. Of course, it's in the mid 90s. No, thank you. That's like as much as I would love to be like to go to Disney World for my birthday. I don't want to go to Disney World during my birthday. I like going in like I know there's no real off season anymore, but I love going and like when we went in October, it was perfect. I mean, it was like in the mid 80s. So it was some warm days and we weren't quite used to that, but just being hot, but just drink a lot of water, a lot of the free waters. Even though I feel like I always feel like I should tip. I don't know what tipping culture is like, what you're supposed to do because like DFB guys never talked about tipping or anything like that. But yeah, gotta go pick up my replacement microwave. All right, Charlie. See you later. Text me later about the 29th if you're interested. Good luck on the microwave. Gonna make some popcorn. Oh, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Disney. Always comes back to Disney. I got 41 done yesterday. Then the kids' emergency took over, and we didn't get home until after 1. So I'll try to get to 55 squats today. I did better than I thought I would have. I need to. I'd probably start with like 5, and then do like 10, and then see how that goes. I don't know if I would want to exponentially go up, but I don't know. I've just got a lot of work to do on that. Well, thank you for stopping by, Heath. Give Shelly a hug and all that stuff from us. Tell her that we care, and we'll see you guys soon. All right. Woo! Yeah. So I didn't actually end up eating yesterday, which is fine with me. I had my coffee, which really considers that's basically a meal. But then I had a couple of bites of like pepperoni and cheese and stuff at the party last night. But I'm trying to decide what I want to eat today. I don't know. Like I want to try the flatbread with some keto chow in it. I got to check it first and see if the cottage cheese I have is within date to utilize it to make that flatbread. I've even got like some silicone like baking trays that I can use, and I don't use parchment paper. I'll probably still spray it down. I might add a little bit of butter in with it too to give it some extra fat, so it's maybe a little more greasy. We'll see how I feel. Um, we also met two great sister Karen and Teresa of Low Carb Spin. They were fantastic. Yeah, so who was like the biggest is like the biggest people there, like the biggest celebrities there were um probably Dr. Baker, right? Like he's like the biggest following, I think, of everybody there. Cause I think because weren't the Barrys on the cruise? The Barry, Nisha and Dr. Barry were on the cruise or on the cruise, and they're kind of like the biggest influencers by subscriber count. I don't know where everybody else is. Um Maybe Dr. Chafee might be one of the bigger ones. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't have ricotta cheese. That might be better for like Italian style. I will have to see. Because we have cottage cheese because we were buying it for the young one, and which she graduated from preschool this week, and that was a major milestone. She was very upset. She goes, "I'm not ready. I'm not ready," and I'm like, "Oh my goodness." She's like, "Paul, will you graduate with me?" Carrie Man is there, but you haven't met him, but that's okay. You're like, I could care less about that guy. He's just making a movie. Sarah is slowly growing her channel, not at the big time yet, but we're closing in on 500. That's awesome. A friend of mine who's doing he has an art channel. He's the guy that did this painting right behind me. He has a channel and he's gone from sub 100 to over $600 or $600 from less than 100 subscribers to over 600. I think he did a promotion on through creator portal. I think he paid $50 to grow his channel. How that's going to impact engagement, I'm curious to see. But it's got him over 600 subscribers since like just in a couple of days. He's gone from over like he's got over 500 subscribers in the last couple of days for $50. That's actually not a bad thing, and it's not so like if you were to go to some of these other sites and pay money to get subscribers, um, then you can get your channel shut down. But if you go through YouTube and do it, then they're basically pushing your channel out to people. They're doing it the right way. So it's all, I mean, it's definitely something interesting if you have like $50 to spare or whatever. It could grow your channel a little bit if you're trying to get over a hump. Like I'm trying to get to 5,000, but I want to grow more organically. And I know that's typically what people want to do, but it might be something in the future that I may want to do to see if I can grow to people who may not have seen our channel outside of maybe a promotion being run or something like that. So, okay. Yeah, Chavy's at 350,000. That's pretty I mean, I have aspirations, I have goals with this channel. And this I mean, okay, and the reason why is the channel takes a lot of work. As any of you who make content will understand, this takes a lot of work. There's a lot of work that goes into this, even to keep a small channel afloat and to grow and get like right now, like I am doing like right now, like the last 28 days, I've had like 50 subscribers, which if you're at like 100 subscribers, that's a huge number. But if you're trying to get to 5,000 and you're at 4,700, that barely kind of doesn't really move the needle. So I mean, there's a definite like perspective and kind of thing like that. But I have goals. I want to grow the channel because the more we grow the channel, the more people we can reach, the more subscribers we have, the more opportunities we have to grow the channel, to bring in, sponsorships and such that can help me do more with what I have and, help more people in theory. And so, I mean, my goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers sometime in the near future. Hopefully 10,000 by the end of this year, which I know that's kind of a lofty pipe dream, but that's, you set goals. So, yes. How was the flatbed with ricotta? I want to know. I saw Steve from Serious Keto released his video. He used, I think, a cup of cottage cheese and only one egg, and it just kind of fell apart. I don't think he had enough egg in it. Um, you know, mine might mix some Parmesan in with mine, like, cause I've got some like not fresh grated Parmesan, but like the grated Parm that's in bags. I have some of that in the fridge. I think that I need to use soon. Um, I also want to make there is a Parmesan, avocado, and egg flatbread that you can make. That's kind of something that I'd like to do. She said, I liked it a lot, Cindy. I used it as a sandwich wrap. I'll put pics on the Facebook page today. Yeah. I'm at 750 and 150 watch hours short of 3,000. You are going to get there. This I promise. If I can get there, anyone can get there. Anyone can do it. I mean, I have zero doubts that you will do this. You are dedicated, you are putting out consistent content, and I'm proud of you. And I imagine you're just filming away at Hack Your Health, and you're going to come back with lots of new content. I hope. I want to see what's going on there. I hope there's a lot of content about the vendors and such. Evelyn says she's working to help you, Cindy. Yes, that's the thing, is grow each other. Help each other grow. That's one thing, like even as a channel, I don't care how big I get, I'm always going to try to push other channels because other people have done it for me. Wes has done it for me. Um, Sometime in the future, I will be in a video, in a couple of videos in the future on other people's channels, however long it takes them to get their videos edited and uploaded. Um, you know. Oh, I love you too, Cindy. Um, because I and the better I do, the more I can bring people like Cindy along that do channels and grow. I mean, there's just no reason to not bring everybody with you. And I know people give like Joe Rogan a big hard time, whether you agree with him or not, or whatever his stance is on him, whatever. But he's one of those people that he brings his friends with him. And people will then, then criticize him for that. Like, he's just bringing his friends along. Well, what are you supposed to do? You bring your friends along. You bring them along, and if they're talented enough, if they're working hard enough, they'll succeed. I mean, yes, they get their foot in the door because he's Joe Rogan. But if they're not funny, if they're not good enough, then they're not going to succeed, even with his help. But he brings them along. And that's what I plan to do. Because I didn't get here alone. I didn't get here by myself. I'm not sitting here today by myself. I have all of you with me. And if you have a channel, let's go. Let's do it. Like Chris Cook in Nashville talked last week about us doing a collaboration on like nacho cheese, like a nacho cheese sauce that's kind of like consistency like you would get at a ballpark or whatever. There's a little bit of that jalapeno flavor in there, and I'm sure we can do it. And it's going to be probably not so plasticky looking. It'll probably be more realistic, but just trying to get the consistency right and the flavor right. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that because I love nacho cheese because it's mine and nachos. I know. I'm a nerd. I'm a dork. It's fine. So, okay. Carl is opening up our Keto Brains order and they gave us some What the Pluck. I have no idea what that is. Let me look that up. Let me see what I can find. It's called Keto Brains. It's an organ meat blend. Is that what this is? It just says pluck. 100% grass-fed pasture beef organs. That's some expensive stuff. 66 US dollars, and it's sold out. But you could use an HSA with keto with Keto Brains nootropic. You can use HSA cards with that. That's insanity. Scott's here. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? Better late. It's always that you're here. I'm super excited that you're here. Even if people drop in and say hello and leave, it still means the absolute world to me that you took the time to drop in, time out of your precious day to say hello to me and people in the chat. Because time is one of our that's the most precious resource that we have. We only have so much of it. And the fact that you're sharing any of it with me truly means the world to me. Smoking a turkey today because I need some room in the freezer. Something I never thought I would have said 3 years ago. That's like I had somebody reach out to me and say, that their sister had a line on like a half a cow, quarter cow, and I was like, I don't have the room. Like I had to make room the other day to fit a creamy in the freezer. Like it took me, I was playing Jenga in the freezer to fit one Ninja Creamy container in there. So, yeah, smoked meat's the best. Mr. Gugahan, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Have a safe trip. Enjoy your day. And maybe I'll see you this week. Maybe see you on Tuesday. If not, next Sunday. But yeah, I'm trying to decide. I know that one of the things every year we try to do something fun for our birthdays. We try to have something like not always an off the plan meal, but almost it's usually more off plan than normal. Like I don't even know. Like one of the thoughts I had was I found out that Pizza Hut brought back the Big New Yorker, which is one of those things like when I was a kid they had. It was a very short-lived pizza that they had. It was like in 1999 to 2000, I think. So it was not even a whole year. Maybe they had this Big New Yorker. It was like a gigantic. It was like I say gigantic. I think it was a 16-inch pizza with six slices, maybe. But like then like, I think to myself, you know what? I can get an 18-inch pizza from Costco for $10, and it's pretty good pizza. But that's like just getting full pizza. I don't know. I don't know if it's enjoying pizza or just get me full pizza. I don't know. I bought a second freezer just for meat. Now it's partly because I am a hunter and it is half full of venison and elk. Oh man, I would love to have elk meat. And because okay, so most of the time, like trying to find elk here and where I live is you're gonna find ground elk, and there's a disclaimer that it's mixed with beef. And they're charging like 11, $12 a pound, and it's not even pure elk. And I hear Rogan talking about him eating elk all the time because he goes and hunts his own elk. He gets an elk every year and talks about it's the best meat on the planet. And I'm just like, I would love some elk steaks. I don't even know how to get them without paying a stupid exorbitant price for them because we're cheap. I mean, if we could tolerate pork, our cost would go way down because then we could eat more pork loin, and that's like usually like $1.79 a pound. But we don't tolerate pork very well, and so we ended up eating more beef. And beef is like anywhere from $3 a pound to $20 a pound, depending on what you're buying. But yeah, venison and elk. My daddy was a hunter, and it's been years since I've had elk. A friend shares some venison every year, every now and then. Yeah, I've had some deer here and there. Never had elk. We have three freezers. We have two chest freezers in the garage. I need to go through them. So this summer, I need to go through them um, and see what all is in there. See if anything needs to be tossed out. I'm sure there's some stuff that needs to be thrown away. Um, but yeah, then we've got the freezer that's actually really big for what it is. We've got one of those Samsung side by side French door ones. Then the freezer's on the bottom and it rolls out and it's got like the plastic drawer. It's deceptively big. It looks like it's not going to hold a lot, but that thing gets stuffed full of stuff. And then you can finagle and fit so much more in there. It's crazy. I have two freezers and an extra fridge with a freezer. Oh, yeah. Jeff says, I'm not good at typing, but I am good at lurking. You know what? I'm not good at typing either. So type away and we'll figure it out together. No shame, no ridicule. Elk is getting more and more prevalent here in western Nebraska. Farmers and ranchers hate it because elk are so destructive to crops and fences. Because they're huge. They're like furry freight trains. They're monster sized. You haven't missed anything, dear. We're going. It's only an hour in, and it's only 8:30. Not even fully 8:30 yet. And I'll go till I'm done talking. So maybe another hour if people are hanging out and chilling and have a lot to say. Um, so yeah. Yeah, we're talking about the meetup. I'm working on getting people together. I'm going to be fasting for the 29th because my birthday is the 25th, and I'm going to be fasting somewhere in that, and like maybe the 26th or probably not the 26th, probably the 27th or 28th. So I'll probably be like a day or two into my fast, a 7-day fast. But I want to go and I want to hang out and give hugs and hang out with everybody. And I think Jen Lucas, um, Jackie, and maybe Charlie may go with me, depending, and split all the gas money to drive. So yeah, I've been up since like a little before 6. And I don't start drinking my coffee till this starts. I did have half a thing of Alpha Brain. Um, it's an On It product. I got it was some they had some on clearance at Fresh Time the other day, so I got 4 little packets. They were $1.29 a packet on clearance. So I got 4 packets to try. The flavor's not great, but it's an Alpha Brain. It's like a nootropic type thing, like Keto Brains, but you don't mix it with coffee. You mix it with water. It has like a this one's a pineapple flavor. It has a weird aftertaste, but yeah. It's the month that Top Quack is 56. I turned 45 in June or in the 25th. 25th, I'm 45 years old. Crazy, crazy. I want to elk are tasty. They're like tasty freight trains. But I mean, I've never gone hunting, so I mean, I would love elk steaks. I don't even know like they look delicious. They look that deep red color. They look amazing. Um well, I'm planning to be there. I have to confirm with the wife because she'll be working, but it probably won't be a problem. Rick had 8 or 6 eggs and a 16-ounce top round for breakfast. Going hard in the paint, aren't we? Sounds good though. Scott says elk is amazing. Venison is okay. Venison's okay. I think it really just depends on what they're eating or what they're getting into. Venison loin similar to beef fillet. Ground venison is good in certain recipes, but not everything. Elk is just as good as beef. I think everybody says that elk is better. Now, sometimes I like bison burger. Sometimes, like to me, has the flavor of steak. If you get the right bison, it'll actually taste like steak instead of hamburger. That stuff is delicious. I think I have some bison, maybe in the freezer, a couple of pounds of that. I got to dig it out and make some because it tastes like steak to me. And I'll make it rare. I don't give a I don't give a you know what I'm saying? Chris Cook in Nashville is here, my friend. Hello, 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 sir. I'm so glad to see you. Let's see. And it says, I've been sick since last Sunday, and Susan's had an ER visit this week, and she's still recovering from that. It's been really medically crazy. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. It's terrible. I hope you guys are on the mend. I hope you're on the mend. Chris loves venison if it's cooked right. Yeah, for sure. It's easy to overcook it. And then you're just like, come to North Platte, Nebraska. I've been to Nebraska, so So one of the weird things about Nebraska is a couple years ago we took a family trip and we drove out to Colorado and we took I-70 all the way to Colorado because we live in Indiana and we right there central Indiana I-70 straight through. So Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, the longest most it's almost as bad as driving through Georgia. Just how long you're driving through, right? Then on the way back, we decided to go up. We went up from Denver. We went up to Wyoming into Cheyenne and then over through Nebraska. We took I-80 all the way across Nebraska. And I was thinking, Nebraska being Nebraska, um, I mean, it was not as desolate as Kansas. I know we stopped to go to the restroom at a Shopko, and then I know we stopped. I think in Lincoln, Nebraska. I think we stopped and got some food. But yeah, I'd love to go back to Nebraska. I mean, I don't know what all. There's not a whole lot there, I guess, but I don't even know how far North Platte is. Let me see how far is North Platte, Nebraska from me. Let's see. Said North Platte, Nebraska. Woo, that is a 12-hour and 16-minute drive, 856.3 miles. That's a drive. That's a drive. Brick says, I eat 1 pound of meat with breakfast, 2 pounds with lunch and dinner. I eat as much as 4.5 pounds in one meal. Woo! Putting it away. Maybe I'm not eating enough. I don't know because typically I'm having like 6 to 8 eggs with a pound of meat, with a pound of burger, maybe some hot dogs thrown in sometimes. And that'll be like for the whole day. Maybe I'm not eating enough. I don't know. Maybe that's enough. You guys tell me what you guys think. I don't know. I'm glad to hear it. I'm so glad to hear it. Sous vide. I have a sous vide. I need to break that out one of these days. I have one. I was excited to get it. I got it on sale years ago, like a Black Friday deal. It was yeah. I need to get it out. It's in the garage. It's like where Christian appliances go to never be seen again. Jeff says that he made your pancake recipe yesterday, Chris. It's a ways, sir. It's a hike. Name that movie. I can't think of it. I don't know what's going on this early. It's worth a drive for elk. I would have to go out there and like have to be coming back somehow with like a few 100 pounds of elk to make like to justify 1,600 miles round trip. Remember, I've eaten this way for decades and I'm extremely thin, 6 foot 6, 190 pounds. That's wow, you're ginormous. You're like Peter Steele size. Um, that's impressive though. That's an impressive amount of food. I'm 6 foot, 6 foot one, depending on the day, depending on the shoes. Ah, sorry about that. Sean is here. Good morning. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years. I need to revisit that movie. That was a good movie. You can't handle the truth. So many movies I want to go back and rewatch. I need to watch the new South Park episode where Cartman goes on Ozempic. I need to check that out. Yeah, I don't even know like if it would take me through there or not. I don't even know how that would take me. Let me look and see how that would take me because I'm curious to see. Let's see. It would take me through Nebraska. 21 hours, so basically 22 hours, 1,520 miles. So you'd basically be the halfway point, give or take. Because I go through Nebraska, Wyoming, I would go like, I don't know if I would probably skip across. I don't even know if I'd skip across Nebraska, but I would basically be going, let me go through Illinois, Missouri, up through Kansas, into Nebraska. It'd have me bypass Iowa, and then go all the way through Wyoming and then into Utah. I want to go visit there. I do want to go to visit Keto Chow one of these days. You know, I want to visit Redmond salt mine. I want to visit all that stuff. Oh, I want to go see all the mountains. Can't handle the rodeo burger. Mm, yeah, it's gonna be a busy month. Chandra will be older than me for 19 days, and then I catch up to her. Our middle child, our oldest child, has a birthday, and she drops off our insurance. Um, the young one graduated from preschool this week. It was adorable. We finally got to meet her teacher. We had to do background checks. We had to have background checks to attend their graduation. And I don't know if that's something that all schools do now or something, but like that's just the like having a background check. And then when we got there, they had to like check our IDs and we had to get a little sticker to show we had checked in. And I know the world can be a weird place, but maybe I'm a maybe I'm an optimist, but I refuse to think it's that bad that often to warrant that much security for a preschool graduation that literally lasted 8.5 minutes. I don't know. What do I know? I did. I married an older woman. She is 19 days older than me. And the good news is that I live right off I-80, so no extra driving to see me. Dawn from Dawn does keto stop by for 30 minutes, and we chatted at a truck stop on her way to Utah. Hashtag more Mike. More Mike. More Mike. Is anyone? I don't even know if we could do that in like modern cars. Can you cook on the plastic? Seems like everything's plastic in the car now. Shelly, good morning. Yeah, I saw that they had that their son had proposed yesterday. So it says, "Did you hear that Rachel and Joe are getting a new daughter-in-law soon?" Anthony asked his lady to marry him, and she said yes. So excited! I love that. I did talk to Rachel. We're supposed to be coming to Indiana soon. Those plans have changed. So I don't know when they're going to be coming through Indiana now, but I told them whenever they're through, I can meet them for dinner, whatever, lunch. We'll make it happen. Michelle is 2 days older than you. I mean, I've got a Honda Civic hatchback, and we also have a Telluride. So yeah, next cars may not even have engines. I'm looking at Teslas, but I mean that's just me, um, because if we can get away from having to pay gas every month, pay for gasoline, then I'd be totally. It'd always probably be worth it to have a gasoline car, and then I would like to get to where basically for what we're almost what we're paying now for her Telluride, we could get two Model 3s almost. And then we get the tax breaks too. So I don't know. We'll have to see. And then the tax breaks, and then then you're not paying for gas every month, and there's even less maintenance. You're not getting oil changes. You're not getting all that stuff. I'm totally into it. Robbing the cradle, Cindy. Robbing the cradle. Off for a morning ruck with my dogs. I will be ear hustling. Thanks for helping me start my Sunday with great friends. You are so welcome, Scott. I appreciate that you're here and you'll be listening to us, listening to me ramble on while you're off walking. My parents used to cook a whole turkey in their car engine on the way to Thanksgiving with their family. But back then you could probably get away with it because the engine bays in those cars, you could fit in like the old cars. There was enough room. You could literally hop in and stand on the ground next to the engine. You can't even see the ground in cars now. And I'm not one of those like it's better then than it is now. I mean, it was easier for people to work on their cars then, but there's been so many improvements in technology, manufacturing, uh, fuel efficiency that all these things change. Shelly robbed the grave. Shelly robbed the cradle too. From the cradle to the grave. I don't know how. I'm all for technology and stuff, but those self-driving cars scare me. I just keep thinking about the movie Wall-E, where humans can't even walk. Well, here's my thing about it. So if you take a look at the statistics and you look at the cars, not even self-driving, but if you take a look at, because Tesla has all this data, and you look at crashes per mile in a Tesla. So Tesla is, even without any kind of autopilot, cruise control, anything like that on. So there's autopilot, which is basically like what other cars have is basically like an advanced autopilot, like advanced cruise control, where there's like it can see the car and it speeds up and slows down as traffic, and it'll stop you and stuff like that. Um, and then there's the full self-driving, which it'll drive and change lanes and do all that stuff for you. But if you look at the miles driven per accident, Tesla, with just the cruise control stuff on, is well over 1 million miles driven in Tesla vehicles per accident. Other cars are significantly less. Then when you take away that, you add in just the car itself with just a human driver driving, Tesla's still above and beyond other vehicles crashes per 1 million miles driven. Um, and I know a lot of people get upset with Tesla just because of Elon, and I understand that. But to me, I look at the innovation, the what they're doing with, like, when the Model 3 and the Model Y first came out, like their rear end was like 200, like I'm going to say it was like 150 to 200 parts. They then implemented a casting that's now taken 200 parts to one part. So instead of manufacturing 200 parts and then assembling 200 parts into one part, basically now they just pour aluminum into a casting and it makes that one gigantic part. So they have a casting in the front, a casting in the back that attaches to the battery. The car sits on top of it. They put, like, basically they bolt the interior. to the ends, and all that stuff into the front of the car on the top of the battery. The battery becomes the bottom of the car, the structural support. Then all the body panels come together. So it's like they're changing the manufacturing, and that's what I'm always been. I've always looked at that, but I've followed Tesla since 2007. I was working at a an insurance company, and I was a person. I was a call center person. When I first started there, I was a call center person. So my day dictated by how many calls we had coming in, and so if there would be days where I would sit 10, 15 minutes without a call and there was nothing else for me to do, I just was sitting there getting paid. And there were days where just calls would bing, 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 just calls. I'd take 50, 60 calls in a day. There'd be days where I'd take 20 calls in a day. It just depended on who was calling in. If there was a hailstorm hit in Colorado, thank you, Pueblo. But I started looking, and there was very limited things we could look at on the internet at the job. Facebook wasn't a thing. Facebook, I was even on Facebook until 2009, and this is like 2007, 2008. So I wasn't looking at Facebook. I couldn't get on MySpace, so I was just looking at like technology news. So I started looking at technology news, seeing what was going on, and found Tesla. They were in the process of doing the orders for the first Roadster, and I was intrigued by it. I was like, an electric car that can do all this. It's super performance, you know. Before like that, like the electric cars were the Leaf, and it was like a glorified go kart. And then you have these cars coming like a sports car, and then as time went on, they came out with the Model S, the Model X, the Model 3, the Model Y. Now they got the Cybertruck, and I know that's the butt of a lot of jokes, but there's so many manufacturing things that have come along that are so intriguing to me because I love technology, whether it's computers or cell phones and all that stuff. So I don't know. That's one thing I would love. And I just look at the safety because humans are always going to be human. Humans have only the ability to drive so safe. In reality, eventually, once every car on the road is self driving, accidents will probably be all but eliminated, realistically. Especially to me, like if there's like a hive mind car thing where like and traffic will be eliminated if you get in the hive mind thing. So like what really causes a lot of traffic when you're driving on the highway, like especially in stop and go traffic, is the front cars start to go, then there's a lag as cars start to see they can go, and then they can see the cars go. They have to wait for the car in front of them to go, then they can go, and then they can go. So there's like and then everybody tries to speed up, and then they have to stop again, and then it takes them a while to speed up and stop and speed up and stop. If there's a hive mind, like if all the cars are connected, now this is a pipe dream because you got to figure auto manufacturers don't like to work with each other. Look at how long it took auto manufacturers like Ford, GM, and everything to adopt the Tesla plug when Tesla has thousands and thousands of chargers and GM has zero chargers. Ford has zero chargers. They're all just partnering with a charging company instead of working with Tesla at first. Now in the next couple of years all these companies will start having a Tesla charger, a Tesla port in their cars, which makes absolute sense when there's already infrastructure in place for it. But anyway, I digress. But if you figure then the hive mind thing, then cars will know, okay, I'm going to, we can all go. So they all start to go at the same time. So there will be no stop and start, and it'll just be safer, faster. It'll be kind of like iRobot, where cars are going 300 miles an hour on the highway, and you can't drive because you're not good enough to drive that fast, but the car is. Sensors and everything. I mean, will we get to that speed? I don't know. But I think eventually over time, maybe not even in my lifetime, will we see that, but I don't know for sure. I've even told when Shannon and I've talked about this, like there may not even be a reason to teach our granddaughter how to drive. By the time she turns 16, it may have advanced so fast that she may not ever have to learn to drive. She'll just get into cars that drive for her. Now, is that likely? I don't know. But it's something that I'm curious and I'm excited about. Yeah. Let's see. Rick says he's cooked many a lunches on a Bobcat engine. 59 Thunderbird. Yeah, I mean Teslas can crash and they can catch on fire too. But again, think of how many gasoline cars catch on fire. I think that's the thing is people look at like batteries catching on fire. It happens. I mean, you can look at the statistics on how many gasoline cars catch on fire versus electric cars catching on fire. But Teslas also statistically are the safest cars. Every car they release gets the highest safety score that they can get with the crash tests. They don't like the Model X, they cannot get it to flip over. So, I mean, there's a lot of little picadillos like body panel gaps and paint runs and things like that. But these cars are time and time again the safest cars on the road. And I stand by that because the information, the data's there. They always get 5-star crash test ratings, everything. And even they will put out in the news, well, there's another recall, there's another recall, there's another recall with Tesla. But what they don't say is that's an over-the-air update for that recall. It's a recall, but it's just something you get a new software patch, you download it, and that thing's fixed. I have a Telluride, and I have to take it in for 2 recalls. I have to drive it to the dealership and sit there for 2.5 hours and have them fix it. It's no over-the-air update for a Telluride because it's not connected to the internet. But I mean, this is a issue with it's an issue with the drive shaft or something like that. They have to fix. So people get on. Oh, Tesla had another recall. So what? Every car company has recalls. Like my Honda had a recall. That this is like there's 2 recalls on the Telluride. So I don't know. When Tesla goes bankrupt, those cars, well, they're not going bankrupt. 100%. Tesla will not go bankrupt in my lifetime. Um, so this I will disagree with. Tesla will not go bankrupt. Not in my lifetime. Let's see. Cindy said they just signed up with Scrummy Sweets as an affiliate. I'm not even familiar with what Scrummy Sweets are. They are a great company, the best caramels, gummies, and now syrups for pancakes, waffles, anything you want. They primarily use allulose. I'm interested. I mean, realistically, an EMP hits every car on the road is a parking lot. Not just Tesla. Every car on the road right now has a computer in it. And unless you're driving a 69 Nova or whatever, almost every modern day car from the 2000s on has a computer. So if an EMP hits every car, not just Tesla, every car is going to be a paperweight. Your house is a paperweight, your computer's a paperweight, your phone's a paperweight, everything's gone with an EMP. So that's like you can't argue that because that shuts the entire planet down. Not just Tesla, that shuts Fords, GMs, Volkswagens, everything has a computer in it. Everything's toast. So that's to me not a good argument. I'll have to check those out. See where do you have to buy them online? I do like the concept that Tesla has where the car can take you to work and then go out and Uber all day and make money. Yeah, that's something that they are truly working for towards. I don't know when they'll see that. I know that they overpromise and underdeliver on a lot of things. They're supposedly having an event on August the 8th. So I don't know what they're going to be like kind of teasing more teases of their Model 2 or their more affordable vehicle. So I don't really know for sure. Evelyn says, I'm doing triple B&E for June. That is our anniversary celebration days. Anybody doing more extreme keto, carnivore, or any other challenges this month? I'm doing a fast from my like the day or two after my birthday for 7 days. Uh, I tried to get a Chalk Zero affiliate code, and I'm glad they didn't respond yet. Chalk Zero in my house is a slippery slope. Yeah, and it's just hard to try to sell a lot like some of that stuff. Like to me, I'm an affiliate with Keto Chow with KG Foods. I'm an affiliate with Porking Good Pork Rinds and BioCoach, but I have never really promoted BioCoach. So yeah. And Chris says, I'm all for technology, even in cars. Just don't want my car auto correcting my driving with the same accuracy my iPhone does. And I understand that. And there's definitely going to be something, there's going to be a lot going on with the cars driving themselves. And with the self driving with Tesla, they've got over 1 billion miles driven. Um, and it's definitely not something that's going to be just willy nilly. It's got to be signed off by the government, which doesn't usually give me the biggest thing. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. Um, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them not utilizing radar. I know a lot of companies are focusing on lidar, which is one of those things. I'm like, I don't think they need lidar, but both of our cars have radar in them. That's where like the the adaptive cruise control comes into play. It sees what's in front, and then it can speed up and slow down with the cars in front of you. So I understand that. So um 69 Charger and even my 1994 F250 under computer. Yeah, but I'm saying 95% of the cars on the road do. So, I mean, there's going to be people who have cars that it's not impacted. But who's to say that that battery isn't going to be destroyed with the EMP too? So we don't really know. Um, the power grid can't handle going all electric. The country needs to 100%. And I mean, and that's like one of the things that Tesla's doing too. They're building battery packs to help with sustainable energy as well. They're building giant battery packs that get put in place. Like I know that Australia has been buying and installing Tesla battery packs. They're gigantic installations that hold millions of batteries and such. And they have the solar panel company that they have battery manufacturing. They're doing everything they can. It's going to take the government truly, and not just them, but I mean, you figure that China. China sells a lot of EVs. China is also about to open 1,000 coal power plants. Whether they'll utilize them all at the same time is another question, but they are in the process of manufacturing or building 1,000 coal power plants in China. So, and I think I've heard this and I haven't confirmed it, but like Microsoft is building their own nuclear, however you pronounce it, their own nuclear power plants to run their data centers. Now, that's not wide known. They don't want that to be widely known. People are afraid of nuclear power unless you understand it. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not educated enough on it to know how I truly feel about it. But yeah, I hate Tesla because they're closed source computers. Actually, they're open source. They provided all of their technology for other companies to use. And there's no parts aftermarket. I think they're going to be around. The Model Y is the best selling car worldwide, not just EV car sold worldwide. Now, if they can continue on the path that they're on, and like I said, I don't care what people think about Elon. The company itself has solidified itself. They've already proven the impossible. They're outselling Ford and GM, Toyota with the Model Y. They're the best selling car worldwide is the Model Y, not the best selling EV, the best selling car. So that's one of those things like with the way that they're running, they would have to totally mess up to go out of business. Now, how long did it take for GM to have aftermarket parts? I don't know. I wasn't there. But I mean, the thing is eventually there will be. Eventually there has to be. For sustainability, there has to be. I don't know, but I mean, there's a lot of places who won't even work on them. So I don't really know. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anything. I think that there's going to be a lot of companies that go out of business long before Tesla, like Toyota. I think Toyota will go out of business before Tesla does, but that's neither here nor there. Of course, you can join me on my fast. I'll text you and I'll keep and I mean there's gonna be some lies before then, so I'll have a better understanding of when I'm gonna start it. So um and Rick says, can you explain why so many keto people love sweet processed crap? If someone wants something sweet, why not just grow a fruit tree and eat them in season? I mean, that's good in theory, but not everybody lives in a place where they can do that. I mean, we have two apple trees in our backyard, but we don't eat them. We have animals that eat them. You have to remember we're talking about sustainability. We're talking about staying on plan as best we can. And for some people, when we're dealing with the ability to maintain a sustainable lifestyle, it's going to take compromise. Nobody's going to be perfect. And if somebody's utilizing like keto chow or chalk zero, and then that keeps them 98% on track and keeps them from going and buying Snicker bars, I'm never going to question that. Is it optimal? No, it would be the best thing for everybody to do is to grow their own, to raise their own cattle, slaughter their own cattle, and eat their own beef. But that's not realistic. In modern society, it's not realistic. And we have to look at I mean, how many people live in apartments? They can't just go and grow a tree in their apartment complex. You can't. I live in an HOA. I can't have certain things in my backyard. I can plant trees, but realistically, I don't eat enough fruit to warrant it. I buy fruit at the grocery store for our little girl, our granddaughter. She likes raspberries and blueberries and stuff. And I think sometimes I wonder, like, I mean, I understand where these questions come from, and I understand like the thought behind it. Everybody would be healthier, but there's never been a time in history where people didn't eat something they shouldn't. Think about like, people eating apple pies. How long has that been a thing? That's been a thing for centuries. Or some kind of cake. That's been a thing for centuries. As soon as we figured out cooking and that things were sweet and tasted good, we've been doing it. Now they may not have could afford it to do it but once a year, but they still did it. And the idea that if I am 99%, 98%, 97% consistent with my diet, eating meat and eggs and bacon and some broccoli here and there, and I want to have something like chalk zero or keto chow or whatever the case is, and that keeps me consistent, then that's going to be what I'm going to do. Because realistically, we're looking for long-term health here. And long-term means consistent. And consistency takes sacrifice, but it also takes compromise. So, I mean, yeah. Shelley says, I only have two codes, Keto Brains and Keto Chow, because so many people have codes. Just maybe get one sale off mine. I also don't have a YouTube channel, just Instagram, so my audience is very small. Um, I understand that. Even with me with a YouTube channel, I mean, I don't sell as much as others do. Wait, what did I miss from Chris? Okay, all right. I think I saw it. I built a small sized EMP generator. I've done a lot of testing. Every laptop and smartphone becomes toast. But most junk cars tried shut down, but were able to restart. Yeah. I mean, we don't really know what a large scale EMP attack would even look like, or even if it's going to happen. We could have a volcano that pops up in the middle of the United States and tears down 15 cities. We could have all kinds of catastrophes. We could. But the thing is if we don't push the technological envelope because we're afraid of EMPs, then we're never going to move past it. I just see that like being afraid of it, like you can be afraid of earthquakes, you can be afraid of tornadoes, you can be afraid of all these things. If they happen, they happen. I mean, you do what you can, but you don't stop progress because of it. I work at a nuclear plant, so I'm all for it. That's the thing is like, I mean, from what I understand is like a lot of the meltdowns we've had was because it was old technology, wasn't well maintained, and like they didn't have off buttons. So maybe they'll fix that. There's probably a free source of electricity out there. We could just crash the world economy. I don't even necessarily think that. I think that even if it was free, there would still be a way to monetize it. And I think that we're still infants in the world of technology. We truly are. I mean, it hasn't even been when did we get electricity? 1880? We're not even 200 years with electricity. So I just kind of wonder, like, we get so big for our britches. I don't know. I have installed yard charging pedestals for 14 Tesla owners, and they are all fans, but the problems they have are unreal. I've had one whole car totaled by a coconut. I mean, and that's the insurance company issue. A lot of insurance companies don't understand the value of Teslas or how to monetize them, so to speak. I mean, it's the same thing with Rolls Royces. That's the same thing with any high end car. I worked total loss for for 12 years, almost 12 years. I worked total losses. Some of the things you would see for the total would just be ridiculous, like a hood get bent on a Rolls Royce. You just total it because it's a handmade item for that car. I mean, it's all up to what the insurance company wants to total it for, or how do they have is there infrastructure to repair the car. There's a lot of things that Tesla's doing that is right, but there's a lot of things that the whole car industry hasn't caught up with yet as far as Teslas are concerned. They're a new company. They've only been a company making actual cars since 2007. And look what they've accomplished. Look at how long Ford and GM have been in company and been in existence, and they still have problems. I just don't think that I don't know. Maybe we should just eat our meat, love our lives, and buy what cars we like, and eat what keto or not stuff we like, and be supportive and kind. 100%. I just like talking about stuff. I love technology. I love talking about things because I think we've gotten to a point where we don't talk about stuff enough, and there's having conversations and learning from each other is so valuable. We have lived many years eating junk food, yet it's an addiction. Junk food can be an addiction, but it can also be a catalyst for success. And I've talked about this before because, someone who suffers from food addiction, if in my mind, I sit there and go, I'm never going to have this, whatever this is, I'm never going to have this again. That messes with me, and I have to go, and then I may break and have it. But if I know that, well, for my birthday, I'm going to do this, or for my wife's birthday, we're going to do that, or I know that for our granddaughter's birthday, we're going to do this, or like on Fridays, we take the granddaughter out for whatever she wants. Typically, she wants French fries and ice cream from Culver's. She gets a tiny little ice cream, barely eats half of it. She gets the French fries and tries to feed me some. Now, should I eat the French fries? No. Do I? If she's feeding them to me and it makes her happy, these are the times that don't last. And a couple of French fries once a week is not going to be the death of me. There's a million other things that are going to kill me first. And so far, we've done this for I don't know how many weeks in a row. And I haven't gone and bought copious amounts of French fries. I haven't gone and relapsed with that. I mean, it's just what it is. And to me, because if everything she tries to feed me is no, I can't eat that. No, I can't eat that. She questions, well, why am I eating it and you're not? And I don't want her to develop some kind of weird thing because we do our best and feed her meat primarily, but she's also 5 and she doesn't want to eat most things or eating in general is the thing she doesn't want to do. She doesn't eat the whole fry. She doesn't eat the whole thing of fries. She doesn't eat the whole ice cream. We struggle to get her to eat enough food as it is, regardless of it's eggs or steak or bacon or what if sausage links. She likes sausage links sometimes. But just getting her to eat in general is such a task that sometimes getting her to eat anything is better than eating something strict. So, if she's feeding me a couple of french fries on a Friday, I'm not against it. I mean, there's better things I could be doing, but it's not going to last. There's going to be a time where we don't get to take her out on Fridays. There's going to be a time where she's too big for us and she's got her own friends and she's going off and she's not our little girl anymore. She's a grown adult. I mean, we may have other grandchildren, but I don't know. Our boys don't seem too enthusiastic about it right now. That doesn't mean it won't change, you know? And I mean, at this point, we're not even really sure. I know that Tesla vehicles have a 500,000 to a million mile lifespan with the batteries alone, whether or not the car around it will last. But we don't really know that for sure because they are so new. So they haven't even been around 15 years as far as the Model Y and the Model 3. We just haven't been around long enough. So I don't know that for sure. Cindy, we love you. Have a great day. Be safe, okay? I think nuclear power can be the safest, but I think the technology that's in place in most places, we've seen Fukushima, we've seen 3 Mile Island, we've seen all these things that have caused all those troubles, and that leaves fear in people's minds. Solar power is free in theory, but then when you start implementing ways to capture it and store it, it becomes not free very fast. If an EMP attack happened, having no refrigeration and running water will be a much bigger problem than your car not running. 100%. Yeah, we'll see. We just have to see. Hopefully, it never happens. If an EMP attack happens and shuts down our electronics stores, houses, and more people will go nuts and riot, destroy things, and anarchy will set in. Not concerned about my car at that point. Yeah. Keto couch potato. If I have it tomorrow, if I really want it that badly, has been my mantra lately. And then tomorrow comes and I say it again. That's the thing. So I mean, Adam's 100% right. Like I tell people, I can eat exactly what I want. I eat whatever I want. I am a grown adult. I'm 45 this year. I'm a grown ass man. And if I want to eat something, I can eat it. Like Friday, I had a couple of the fish fillets from Culver's because I was like, I've been really, really wanting some fish fillets, and they weren't good. So I was disappointed. So that was a bummer. But I made that choice. That's a choice that I made. Will I make that choice again? Probably not from there. I am working on my own recipe to make them myself better, hopefully. I don't think they'll be as crunchy, but I digress. The thing about that, like I look at my life and I can eat whatever I want. I can go to the grocery store right now and buy whatever I want from the grocery store. I can buy every package of Oreos they have and bring them home and just sit and eat them if I want. But what I want has changed. Like I'm thinking now, like, what do I want for breakfast? What I want to eat in a little while. Do I want burger patties? Do I want a bunch of eggs? Do I want to try that new flatbread if the cottage cheese in my fridge is good? What do I want to do? What do I want to make? Then I'm like, if I make the flatbread, I have to film it. Then I have to set it up and film it, and then I've got to edit it and all that stuff. It's like, do I really want to make that today? I don't know. So, these are the things that I think about. And as that's one of the biggest hurdles that I've come across is when I first started the ketogenic lifestyle. I can't eat that. I can't eat that. I can't eat that was what I told myself. Oh, I can't eat that anymore. I would walk by the cookie aisle and I would have the sensation like, "Oh, I wish I could have those." And I would look at the package and I'd be like, it's two, two Oreos. I could eat two Oreos and I have to be real with myself. No, I can't eat just two Oreos. There's no play. The only way I can eat two Oreos is if I'm in a place and there are only two Oreos. That's the only way. But I've gotten to the point where Oreos don't sound good to me anymore. I think about other things. Like I got some French onion dip in the refrigerator and some plain pork rinds. That sounds good to me right now. I've got my coffee to finish. Good morning, Joe. Finally up and going, checking to see if you're still online. Yeah, I'm still here. Maybe another 15 minutes or so. My eating style always used to be based in fear. It's odd to say, but at buffets, I would want to try everything. I no longer have. So like, I haven't even been to. I mean, the last time I was at a buffet, I think was in Disney. There's a breakfast buffet, and they had like lox and stuff like that, and they had eggs. You could get eggs cooked however you wanted. There was plenty of bacon and sausage links and all that stuff. You know, but we just ate eggs and bacon and we had a good time. Yes, it is. I don't know. I no longer have FOMO. I like the foods and everything else in my mind is poison. Yeah, I mean that's the thing is like I think about I think sometimes the best part of something is thinking about it. That sounds weird, but like I think about, well, what am I going to eat on my birthday? It never lives up to expectations. It's never as good as I want it to be. Like I thought like 3 or 4 weeks go by and I've been thinking about those fish fillets. Should I have got them? No, but I knew that I wanted them and I had been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. So I finally was like, okay, I'm going to give in and I'm going to have them. And then I sat there and ate them and I was disappointed. They like the fish didn't have any real flavor. The breading was a little more greasy than it should have been. And I'm like, okay, this is what happens. And sometimes I think I give in a little bit to find out that it's not as satisfying as I want it to be. And it doesn't taste as good as I want it to be. And sometimes you just kind of have to know that. And now I'm not going to be wondering. It's not a curiosity anymore. I've given into that. And now I know that it's not going to be something that I think about anymore. I don't know. I think you have to have like a give and take with yourself. There's too many added chemicals. They're definitely not clean. Yeah, there's definitely no engine to cook on, but I bet that battery gets hot. One of the best parts of our cruise was I was surrounded by a standard American diet, eating people who were overweight and didn't have to watch every single thing I did to avoid. That's not blank criticisms. That's the thing. Is that's what like okay, and this was something that somebody posted on one of the socials yesterday. Like they posted a photo of like the pearly gates, and they were like, you put pepper on your steak, you can't come in. And I'm thinking, I think about stuff like that, and I think about when people post things in groups where they have like maltodextrin or they have sorbitol, maltitol, and I'm willing to give my opinions, but I'm not judging the person because there's so much information out there. Who's to say that my information is right? They don't know. They don't know that I'm right. I don't know for sure that I'm right. All I know is my opinion and my experience. I know that when I have like sorbitol, maltitol, I have to hang out in the bathroom for a while. So I try to make sure people understand that, but it doesn't always impact them the same. Or if it does, they're not telling me the truth. But that's what it is. But these groups, people will come in and ask, what are your thoughts on this? And that's when I provide them my thoughts. But I'm not going to go and call them names. I'm not going to be mean to them because that doesn't help anybody. Even here, Even with some of the disagreements I have with Rick about Tesla or whatever, I don't think less of Rick. I have no problem with Rick. I like Rick. Rick comes and hangs out and talks with me, and we have a conversation. And he has a differing opinion on certain things, and that's perfectly fine. I don't want everyone to think the same way as me. That's boring, and we don't move forward if everybody thinks the same. We just don't move forward. And as a society, as a people, as a species, we try to move forward. Just like with carnivore, not everyone's going to agree what clean carnivore is. Not everybody's going to agree that there's going to be people who think lion diet's the only way or carnivore's the only way. And if you put pepper on your steak, you're a whatever. If you're keto and you have keto chow, then boo on you. Well, you know what? That works for me. I have to do what's best for me. I have to do what's sustainable for me. And the best person to understand me is me. I don't pretend to understand you better than I understand me because I don't. I don't live in your shoes. Be small, there's no windows. So, how do you determine what you want is how do you determine what you want and what you don't want but crave? Hmm. That's an interesting question because I think a crave, like when I crave something, it sticks with me long after I've stopped thinking about it or I'm out of the situation. There'll be things that I will like I will crave. Like I crave pizza. I love pizza. So I'll make little pizza things that I have. I keep tomato sauce or whatever in the house and cheese and little things like that to make and pepperoni. I can make pizza stuff sometimes because sometimes the craving of pizza is so strong that if I don't make something like that, I'll go and order a big pizza. Probably not. I have a little bit better self control now. That's taken me years to achieve. But I think there's a difference between crave. I think crave is one of those things like sometimes crave is fleeting and sometimes crave is not. Like sometimes I'll crave something for a while and it'll be intermittent. And then finally, like for a birthday, I'll go get it. Like I had a craving for a while for White Castles, like double White Castles with cheese, with the bun and everything. I was like, I want extra pickle, extra onion. And I got them for my birthday, and I was like, you know what? These weren't as good as I remember. And I feel kind of full and I feel a bit bloaty. And I'm like, man, I still need to go and get them without buns and see how they serve them. That's a curiosity that I have. And I was thinking about that last night. And I might do that for my birthday. I don't know. But, I think, understanding what you want and what you need and getting to understand yourself is so valuable because and understanding too, like you've got to give in a little bit here and there. Now, if you're not there yet, then I understand not giving into yourself. But if I kind of see something and I want it for long enough, and I'm like, you know what, I just really want to see if it's good. I want to see if it's good. I want to see if it's good. Then even though I know it's probably not going to be good, I'll do it. And I'm like, okay, then I find out for sure that it's not good. And then I can stop wanting it. I can stop craving it because it's not good. Is that a perfect system? No. And will that be what I do in a year? I don't know. Will that be what I do in 5 years? I don't know. There's always new things coming out. You're in the grocery store, you see new things. Like, why didn't they have that when I wasn't keto? Why didn't they have that when I wasn't keto? And that kind of sticks in your head a little bit. I don't know. I know but that's a very valid question, a very good question that I don't necessarily know I have the answer to. And Shelly says that to Adam, it's a good approach. I do the same thing, especially if there are donuts at work. I don't buy them, but when they're tempting, I say skip these and get them tomorrow if you want, or get ones you want. I don't know. Let's see. Sean says I'm doing triple B&E right now because my glucose readings are getting higher. I need to find out what's causing it. I'm thinking that I'm eating too much keto chow. That's interesting. That keto chow, as low carb as it is, even low total carbs, could be causing your glucose to go up. Are you primarily like carnivore over regular keto now? Yeah, that's my thing. It's like I would ever eat two Oreos if there's only two Oreos. I was never smart enough at buffets. I'd always get the mac and cheese and the stuff that I liked eating, which would make me full faster. I would get steak sometimes, but like if we were at a place that had steak, but for me, like I would get what I wanted, like mashed potatoes and I don't know. I was a big side person. That was one of the hardest transitions to make going keto was you didn't have a load of sides to go on your plate. You'd have like a meat and a veg or whatever, right? And then there would be all this space on a plate, so to speak, or it'd be like, wait, I don't have a bunch of sides. I don't have rice or macaroni and cheese or whatever. And that was a hard thing to kind of cope with a little bit. Let's see. Whew. Let's see. Chris says, I found that I almost only get cravings if I'm trying to fast too much exclusively. Otherwise, I don't generally crave things anymore. I do crave things when I'm doing a fast. I'm an extended fast. I find myself watching like diners, drive-ins, and dimes. But I've come up with some great recipes watching that show. Even if it's not what's on the show, I'll be watching it and I'll be like, well, what if I did this? What if I tried this? And then I'll try it and it'll work or it won't. Uh Scott says, back from my ruck, a beautiful morning here in Nebraska. Time to stretch before I get ready for church. Happy Sunday, sir. I'm glad you had a good walk. And Sean says, I call myself ketovore mainly because the only thing I eat is not meat, is keto chow, some cheese, very small amounts of veg, but not very often. Some keto brick. Evelyn says, my opinion is if you've eaten a pound of burger and a pound of bacon and you still want a candy bar, it's a craving addiction, not a need to be fueled. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, and that takes time to find true satiety, takes time. It really takes time to find satiety. Finding that balance of when you're full and you're okay not having anything else, it takes time. And we have days where that just doesn't matter how much satiety, how much satiating food you have, your body's like, I want something sweet. And then that's where I maybe have some keto chow or something like that. But I'm not perfect. But I think with that, I'm going to end today. Um, Dustin just showed up. I thought I missed this. Good morning. Good morning, Dustin. Thank you for joining us. I am going to end this because we are at an hour and 58. And in less than 2 minutes, Richard and Autumn go live. So go over there, hang out with them because, well, I don't even know if they're going live today. I think that they may not be going live today because I think they are in Austin. Let me double check. I don't think they're going live. I don't see them going live. So I'm not too concerned, but I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you for everybody for coming here, being here with me, hanging out, talking, having discussions because we don't grow if we don't discuss things. We don't grow if we don't have and talk about things. Thank you to everybody who's a member. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all those who come and talk with me every Sunday morning. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I love you all. And Shander and I will see you on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Love you guys. See you soon.